All right, today I want to show you a beginner's tutorial of sculpting in Fusion 360. So I want to start very simply. I'm not saying this is the most effective method, not even saying it's the best method, but it's going to get you to know some of the tools and get you playing in Fusion 360. So to begin with, I'm going to just make this little Diglett in the bottom right of the screen, something pretty easy to make, but still somewhat useful, and we get to use enough of the tools that I feel like this would be an actual useful demonstration for you. So the first thing you want to do is begin sculpting in Fusion 360, and if you're not used to this, it's not very intuitive, unfortunately. So when you drop down create, you can go to create form. This is going to allow you to create spheres or some type of base shape that you can then edit. So first of all, let's make a cylinder, because Diglett there is kind of a cylinder, right, to begin with. So I'm going to make that 40. So that's just specifying the diameter. So we're going to do that. We're going to be okay. Over to the left, we have a folder called bodies. So we can choose body 1, and that will allow us to right click. We can edit and change what we would like. If we want to move it up and down, if we want to scale it, there's a lot of different things we can do with there. It's very advantageous to get to know that form. So now we have the cylinder part. Let's add another sketch to help create that rounded, bald shape of his head. So let's add another sphere. We're going to add it to the same plane. It needs to be the same shape, and we're going to do finish form. So now we have these two built kind of into each other, but we're going to change that. So by going to bodies, I can choose body 2. If you right click, you can move, and that will allow us to move this kind of up. You will obviously want it halfway, otherwise it's not going to completely fit. And to understand what these mean is this circle allows you just to move this anywhere that you would like. Now I took it off center. We'll see how that is. The arrows allow you to move it one direction or another, horizontally and vertically. We have the square that allows you to move this as well. It also serves other purposes in different work planes, and then this allows you to rotate. So I'm going to redo all of that, just shove this up here. Again, this is a tutorial. It's not going to be perfect, but this will get the point across. So there we go. This is a pretty good start, in my opinion, to a little Diglett. So if I had to do again, I would make this cylinder a little taller, but again, I want this to be a bite-sized video, so let's move forward. So now we need to make his eyeballs and his mouth. So to do that, let's create another form, and let's create another sphere. We're going to drop it down on one of these planes, and let's make this 4. So what we are going to do here is alter this sphere to make it look like his little squinty eyeballs. So we're going to do that by, if you go to select, this will allow you to select multiple different planes and faces. Now, if you could do this individually by selecting each face, but obviously it's not very efficient. So if you do edit form, you are going to see something very similar to what we saw before. However, because you're editing now, it's going to take all of the faces, and you're going to be able to drag these to where you would like. So I'm going to drag those faces up. I did 2 millimeters. That will be important to remember, because I'm going to select again, and I'm going to right click, edit form, and I'm going to drag another 2 millimeters. So that, when all said and done, should give us like a nice little pill shape, which I want to be his eyes. So this is body 3. Now at this point, we want to move this. First, we can finish form. So we've got Diglett's body. Now we've got his little eyeball here. However, we do need to move it. So if you right click, you can go to move copy. And again, this is where you can first on the right, I do this every time. You would think I would get used to it by now, but under move object, it defaults to face. I think because I chose when you select this, we think of it as a body, but it's also a face. So it's trying to move the face, but we don't want that. We want to move the body. So when you choose body and then you select the little eyeball, now you are able to move wherever you would like. So we're just going to rotate here and try to get it on the outside of the body. And of course, I'm not going to spend too much time making this perfect, but you would want to rotate this so it's somewhat perpendicular or parallel rather to his little face. And I mean, I think for the most part, this is getting there. I don't want to spend too much time making it pretty when ultimately this is just a tutorial anyhow, but I want it to be serviceable so it looks somewhat reasonable. Okay, so that is his first eyeball. And it looks pretty good, right? So to make it easy, what we can do is select, move copy, and we're going to use the copy. So again, over here, move object, choose bodies, and you're going to choose that again and create copy. There's a little box right here. You can hit OK. You can't tell, but there are two of them right there now. So do move copy, bodies again. And now let's just drag this guy over, like right here. Be sure it looks, again, somewhat reasonable. I think it does. Boom. Okay, he's now got two eyeballs. Now, guess what? For the mouth, you guessed it. Create form. And, you know, let's just do a sphere again. And you could use anything that you really wanted to, wanted to play with. Actually, I think 8 maybe was the way to, I don't know, we'll see. 8, I think, maybe the way to go, the size. And, yeah, you can go to any shape and you can play with it. And that's what's fun of modeling, right? Especially when you're first learning. It takes a while, but you certainly will get there, and I myself have much to learn. Not like I'm a professional by any means, I'm sure, as you could tell. So I'm going to do 4 right here, and then I'm going to select the bottom. I'm going to go 4 down here. But the goal here is just to kind of get you thinking and seeing this is how you make a form. This is how you choose bodies among themselves. This is how you add things. This is that's what I'm going for here. That's what the point of this video is, and I hope it is being successful as we work here together. So, bring that back. I have chosen his face. Now let's go to body. So here, first thing I'm going to do is rotate this puppy 90 degrees. And then I'm going to bring this up. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm like way off. So there we go. I think there's going to have a rotation that needs to be done. I'm not going to spend much time here. That looks good enough to me. Again, would you make it better? Of course, but I don't want to make this video too long. The final thing is Diglett isn't just perfectly coming out of the ground. He has to have some type of earth or some type of base around him because, that's the way Diglett rolls. So what we're going to do is go over here, create. Now we're going to create a sketch. So same plane, same origin, and let's make a circle. And I think that's pretty good. Just somewhere outside of Diglett, since we're going to make ultimately we're making a base, right? So if you choose on that face and right click, you can go to extrude. There's also shortcuts for these things, but again, I want this to be a beginner video, something that is easy and digestible. A bunch of shortcuts is not very digestible. So I'm going to make this 3 cm, or millimeters rather, and you can see right now it's red. That's because to my sketch that I just made and the bodies that I've already created are interlapping, meaning it is going to cut and remove anything that's in this sketch for right now. So over here to the right, we have the extrude. Operation, you can do join. So you see that now turns gray. So I can hit OK. There we go. He has a little base. And then if you choose this edge, you can go to modify. Or again, you can just choose fillet. But add a fillet. Let's try 10. That may be too much. Nope, that looks pretty good. So there we go. That is ultimately how you make a little Diglett. Now, when you export this, you aren't going to see these lines. These are edges to just help you sculpt. I think there are ways that maybe you can remove them, but on it, like right now, I would obviously need to make him a little taller, but the point isn't to make the best Diglett model in the universe. It's to show you how you could begin sculpting, what tools are available, and hopefully this has done the trick. If you have any questions, please comment below. If you find it useful, let me know. I may continue to make new videos as I learn myself, and we could design together. Thank you so much.